She was shivering on the icy platform of the train station, her breath forming small clouds in the cold morning air. The snow had started to fall lightly, coating the tracks in a delicate white layer. Nurses worked tirelessly during the night shift at the hospital, and she had just finished a grueling 12-hour shift. Her hands were numb, and her coat offered little warmth. She tried to hug herself, hoping to keep the cold from sinking deeper into her bones. From the distance, a figure approached. Tall, rugged, and dressed in a classic cowboy outfit, boots, hat, and all, he exuded a presence that made people instinctively take notice. His horse-drawn carriage wasn't far behind him. He had stopped in town on his way to his ranch after a series of business meetings. He noticed her immediately, the lone figure standing on the platform, trembling. Something about her struck him, the vulnerability, the fatigue, the quiet determination of someone who had spent her night helping others. He walked closer, adjusting his hat against the falling snow. "Are you all right, miss?" His voice was calm, deep, and strangely comforting against the cold winds. She looked up, surprised at first, her lips slightly blue from the chill. I'm fine," she stammered. But the truth was clear in her eyes. She wasn't fine. "Doesn't look like it," he replied, his gaze gentle but firm. Without waiting for her consent, he removed his coat and draped it over her shoulders. The warmth was immediate, but it wasn't just the fabric, it was the presence of someone who seemed to care. She blinked, unsure how to respond. I can't accept this." "Why not?" he asked, lowering his voice. "You're freezing. You need warmth. It's a small thing, really, to help someone in need." She felt a blush rise to her cheeks, partly from the cold, partly from his attention. It had been years since a stranger showed her this kind of concern. Thank you," she murmured finally. He smiled, tipping his hat slightly. "I'm Caleb," he said simply. "Emily," she replied, her voice still hesitant. Caleb looked at her for a long moment, as if trying to memorize the details of this unexpected encounter, the softness in her eyes, the fatigue etched into her face, the determination that lingered even as she shivered. "Emily, do you often stand alone at train stations in the middle of a snowstorm?" She laughed softly, a sound that contrasted with the harsh winds around them. "Only when I'm coming home from the hospital." "Ah," he said, nodding. "A nurse, then?" She nodded, surprised that he had guessed correctly. "How did you know?" "You carry yourself with care," he said. "There's something about the way people who dedicate their lives to helping others move through the world. You can't hide it." Emily felt a strange warmth beyond the coat he had given her. There was honesty in his eyes, something rare and compelling. "You're very observant," she said. He chuckled lightly. "I spend a lot of time on open land. Observation is a skill you pick up when there's nothing but horizon and sky to watch." They stood there in silence for a moment, the snow falling softly around them. The cold was still biting, but with Caleb's coat wrapped around her, Emily felt safe. Somehow, she didn't want to leave. "Where are you headed?" he asked finally. Emily hesitated. "Home, I suppose. Not much of a destination other than sleep and rest." He tilted his head. "Well, that can change." "Change? Yes," he said. "I happen to have a ranch a few miles from here. Plenty of warmth, a cozy fire, and perhaps some tea to thaw you completely." Emily laughed, shaking her head. "You don't even know me. Why would I accept such an offer from a stranger?" Caleb's smile widened, but it wasn't arrogant or teasing, it was patient, kind. "Because, Emily, sometimes strangers are the ones who notice us when no one else does. And sometimes, they offer exactly what we need most, even before we know we need it." There was a pause. Emily studied him. Something about his sincerity, the effortless confidence in his presence, made her consider the possibility. The snow continued to fall, and the wind bit harder against her exposed hands. She shivered again, and he immediately stepped closer. "All right," she said softly, after a long hesitation. "Lead the way, Mr. Caleb." He extended his hand, and she took it. The warmth of his palm was immediate, grounding her, giving her a small spark of courage. The journey to the ranch was quiet but not uncomfortable. Caleb talked gently about his land, the horses, and the wide open skies he loved. Emily listened, finding herself captivated by his stories and his calm, assured demeanor. By the time they arrived, she felt a sense of ease she hadn't felt in years. The ranch was beautiful, rustic yet elegant, with a large fireplace roaring in the main room. Caleb guided her to a chair near the fire, offering her a warm blanket and a cup of steaming tea. The aroma of herbs and honey filled the room, mingling with the scent of pine and wood from the fire. "You don't have to stay long," he said gently, sitting opposite her. "But I thought you might enjoy a moment of comfort before heading back into the cold." Emily sipped her tea, letting the warmth spread through her. This is perfect," she admitted. "I don't know why, but I feel safe here." "That's the idea," Caleb said, his voice low and steady. "Sometimes the world is too harsh, and we need a place, just for a moment, where we can be ourselves." They talked for hours, sharing stories of their lives, their struggles, and their dreams. Emily found herself laughing, relaxing in a way she hadn't in a long time. Caleb's attention was not overwhelming, it was thoughtful, considerate, and respectful. As the evening grew late, snow still falling outside, Emily realized she hadn't felt this connection with anyone in years. And Caleb, watching her quietly, felt something shift inside him too, an unexpected pull, a feeling that this encounter was not by chance. Finally, Emily stood, preparing to leave. "I should go, it's late," she said softly. Caleb stood with her, holding the door open. "Emily, I hope this isn't the last time we meet," he said sincerely. "I hope not," she replied, smiling despite the chill in her bones. He nodded, tipping his hat once more. "Then it's a promise." Emily walked back to the train station, her steps lighter than before. She didn't know what tomorrow would bring, but she knew this moment, the warmth of the fire, the kindness of a stranger, and the spark of something new, would stay with her forever. For Caleb, the night had left an indelible mark as well. In all his years of solitude on his ranch, he had never imagined finding someone who would touch his life so profoundly in such a fleeting moment. But Emily had arrived, shivering on the platform, and changed everything. From that night onward, their lives intertwined in ways neither of them could have predicted. Each encounter, each shared moment, and each quiet conversation strengthened a bond that was beginning to blossom into love. Emily found a safe haven in Caleb's presence, and Caleb discovered a depth of emotion he hadn't realized he was capable of. The snow continued to fall, blanketing the world outside in white, but inside the warmth of the ranch and the connection between two strangers turned friends turned something more. A love story began, one that would be remembered for years to come.